Hello again. I'm winging this one for sure. Just read a comment that one of you wonderful people made, and I said, you know what? I'm going to go film this right now. So this is totally off the cuff, but there's two issues I want to get across here real quick. If anybody's following me, and yeah, there's quite a few of you who are, and I appreciate that, but your comments are critical to what's going on here. We're trying to get that one person to come forward with the information, that piece of the puzzle that the Delphi law enforcement investigators are waiting for. If you remember, my first video along this line was a plea to that person with the key, with the information, who knows who BG is. Don't know if I got through to that person, if that person has even seen that video. I suspect that they have. But there's a couple things I want to point out, and a couple of situations that may be the reason they're not coming forward, and I'm trying to show you how to come forward. And then the second video, which I just did a few days ago, was directed directly at the investigators and telling them that they need to let the public know how they're going to protect this person if they do come forward, or persons, because there may be more than one that know what happened, who BG is, etc. Okay. I've been told by some of you who comment that at least the local law enforcement is aware of that video. Whether they pay any attention to me, I have no idea. But there's two things I want to point out. Now I'm talking again to the person or persons who have information. Two issues. We talked about the fear factor, that they're afraid to come forward, they're afraid of what might happen to them, and they don't know how the police are going to protect them. Okay. If you're watching this and you are somebody with that actual information and you know you've got BG and you know the details, but you're afraid to call, you're afraid to come forward, etc. Okay. My recommendation there, I guess, would be go to Indy or a larger city and find the FBI office and walk in and demand to talk to an agent. You're going to be safe there, and they can show you how they're going to protect you. That's one way of dealing with that, if you don't feel comfortable with the hotline or whatever. And I'll post those again on this video. So two quick situations I want to throw out. The first one is if you are the person that's in fear that BG is going to do the same thing to you, or an associate of his is going to do the same thing to you before you get protection. Okay, again, you need to be in front of law enforcement and have them explain to you how they're going to protect you from that moment on, and maybe your family, your kids, whatever. And let me give you a quick example of how this worked in the past with a situation I had. I'm going to do this as quickly as I can. Please stay with me, but this is how these things go down. We had a woman, a young woman. She had 2 young children. She was being physically and sexually, emotionally abused by her husband. And he was kind of a badass. She needed help, and she befriended another young man. And she's actually in this gentleman's house, and the husband figures out that's where she is. And that's how we, the law enforcement, got involved. 911 call comes, we respond, he's in the yard, and he's a pretty muscular dude, and he's demanding that this guy, the new boyfriend, comes out, and that the wife comes out. He's pretty sure she's in the house. So we remove him and advise him if he comes back, trespassing, disturbing the peace, some kind of minor charge is going to happen if you come back. So go away. We got rid of him. I get the wife out of there. She's pretty emotional. I'm not going to get involved with what relationship might have gone on between her and this new fellow. That's not the part of this. I get her a social worker, someone who dealt with sexual abuse and spousal abuse. And this happened to be a very efficient social advocate. She arrives, picks up the wife, and then they pick up the kids so they're safe. She gets them in a safe house. But during her counseling session and putting a safety plan together with this wife, the wife kind of slips up and says that the kids have been abused also. So the social worker sets up a quick contact with me, brings this wife to my office, and it took about 1 minute when I kind of assured her, I'm going to protect you. I've got people that can protect you. There's safe houses. We'll do whatever we have to do to protect you. You need to tell us what's going on here with the kids. She has a total breakdown, bawling like crazy, hyperventilating. She had held this secret for over 2 years. She had caught her husband sexually molesting one of the children, a little girl. There was a little boy and a little girl. She actually accidentally stumbles onto it. Well, badass husband grabs her by the throat, hangs her on the wall basically, gets face to face with her and tells her, you ever say anything to anybody, you're going to witness me kill both the kids, and then I'm going to kill you. So that may be what's going on here. Maybe somebody is in that situation. So you're going to have to figure out a way to get with law enforcement, maybe not in Delphi, maybe somewhere else. If you've got kids, whatever, they're going to have to be in a safe place, and share what you've got. And have that official, that law enforcement official, explain to you how they're going to protect you. Just like I did with this guy. We had the kids forensically examined, and the female doctor who examined the little girl told us it was the worst damage she'd ever seen, and she was ready to go to court and testify to it. Put a warrant together real quick, got this guy arrested. He got 15 years. That's one scenario. Now please listen to the second scenario.
I just finished the most wonderful book, House Secrets. It's full of drama, suspense, and of course romance. You won't be able to put it down. The characters will pull you from page to page all the way till the end, and it's a thriller. My boyfriend cannot wait to read it.
A number of people have commented to me, what if the person that knows something is somehow partially involved? Or they're afraid that they're going to get charged because they've kind of aided and abetted this person in hiding out all these 4 years in the murder of Libby and Abby. And they're worried that they're going to get charged. And maybe they're somehow involved. Maybe they helped in some fashion. Maybe they helped keep secrets. Maybe they covered with a phony alibi or whatever. And they're worried that they're going to get charged. Okay, I thought I explained this in another video, maybe the first one, about this case. Okay, here's what you need to do. If that's you, and you're worried that you're going to get charged, but you want to turn BG in, okay, you need to escape the situation somehow. You need to go to a bigger city, research this ahead of time, find a good criminal attorney, make an appointment. If you've got kids involved, whatever, get them in a safe place, just like this other situation. Make an appointment. You need a good criminal attorney. It's not going to be that hard to find one. Not in Delphi. You need to go to a bigger city. And you need to sit down and share your story with an attorney, a criminal attorney. And have that criminal attorney present your information and work out a deal, some kind of plea deal with the prosecutor who's going to prosecute this case, whether it's in Delphi or they may have to move it to another county. But regardless, have that attorney work for you and cut some kind of a deal ahead of time. That's how these things work. So, I hope I covered the bases there. The first situation, get yourself with probably FBI in Indiana or Indianapolis or Gary or a bigger city, and find you an FBI office and walk in and demand to talk to an agent. And they will explain to you how they can keep you safe. I've been involved in witness protection. It can be done. It's done all the time. And it may have to be done for the rest of your life. But they can explain how they can do that. So I just want to make that clear. It can be done. It's done all the time. It's being done right now. Like I said, I've been involved in it. It's a big responsibility. I've traveled from one state to another to pick up a witness, to bring them into a courtroom so they could testify. Me and another detective flew 500-600 miles, found this guy, brought him back to court, presented him to the court, protecting him, protected him out of the court, flew him back home, and it can be done. And it can be done for long periods of time, for the rest of your life, if need be. Okay, that's it. Second part, if you think you might be involved and you're worried about being charged yourself, then go find a criminal attorney and share your story. And, you're probably not going to get the $325,000 reward, but you can probably work out a reasonable plea bargain by coming forward and sharing what happened to Abby and Libby. I'm sure I'm leaving something out. Again, this was spur of the moment. But I just feel there's somebody out there that wants to come forward, and it's either the fear factor of being harmed or your loved ones being harmed, or you're afraid you're going to be charged also. So I've given you scenarios of how to escape both of those situations. Now, let's act on it. Let's do it now. We've had enough of this. There's thousands and thousands of people out here, not to mention the family members of these girls, that are struggling with this every day. I can't keep up with the comments, and I apologize to you that have commented. And that's what spurred this video right here, was a comment that I just read. I'd seen similar comments, and all of a sudden, bingo, I went, you know what, I need to go get this out. I think whatever I can do to bring this person forward and to get BG where he belongs. Your days are numbered, buddy. We're coming. Thank you.